name is Ben Pig from Woby Design, and I usually make things out of recycled skateboards inside this 20-foot shipping container workshop. But today, I have something special to show you. The Woby camera jig.
That is what I need. If you've seen any of my videos before, you know that I've got a relatively low budget. I currently use a windshield iPhone holder screwed to a block of wood, and usually have to stack that up on top of boxes in order to get the shots that I need. And for overhead shots, I screw a piece of wood to my drill caddy. I've really enjoyed content creation lately, so it's time to level up my game. I've been a huge fan of Ben's from Woby Design for a long time. I recently became a patron of his, and he shared the plans for his camera jig for free. I decided to customize mine by staining it blue and gray. And in order to protect the stain, I covered the entire thing in frog tape before gluing on the template. The frog tape will also help to minimize chip out. I decided to use spray adhesive to adhere the template to the wood. And because I'm using a jigsaw for this, I wanted to make as few cuts as possible. And so I went through the trouble of cutting out each piece individually instead of simply gluing on the entire sheet of paper. And by doing this, there are some parts that I can make 2 cuts at once. I used the jigsaw to get the pieces into more manageable sizes before taking them over to the drill press. And Ben does a great job of telling you exactly what depth and what width drill bit you need to use for each piece. He also suggests doing this before cutting out each piece individually, which I also recommend. Now, I don't have a CNC and my bandsaw is broken at the time, and so the jigsaw was the best route for me to go. I did put in a new blade, and honestly, I got way better results than I thought I was going to. Nick over at Key Woodworks has a video where he makes this jig using a CNC, and it takes him less than an hour to cut the pieces out. For me, using the jigsaw and the disc sander to get a similar result, it took about 2 hours, which isn't bad. And here you can see the benefit of me cutting out each piece because I can make 2 cuts at once. I converted my old table saw to a disc sander, and I absolutely love this thing. I use it all the time and it gets great results. I'll probably upgrade to a real disc sander in the future, but for now I've gotten a tremendous amount of use out of this. Once that was done, I put a small chamfer around all of the edges to make it look a little bit cleaner. In hindsight, I should have removed the tape and the template before doing this because it made a huge mess. But hey, what are dust collectors for, right? And here you can see how nice of a finish I got, as well as get an idea of what each piece is going to look like. The next step was to give each piece a really good hand sanding, and I used 220 grit for this. And it's always a good feeling to sand that last piece. I used this Krylon clear coat to give it a protective finish, and it also gives the color a nice pop. Even though this is a simple shop tool, no reason for it to not look nice. Look good, play good, right? Next, it was time to move on to assembly. Ben does a really good job in his video of going through all these different steps, so I'm not going to go through each process here, but just know that it's pretty simple. And this jig is made to fit around a 3/4 inch black pipe, and so once I confirmed that worked, I went on with the rest of the assembly. And I should note here, I added an extra section to get a little bit further reach and give me a little bit more versatility. And don't mind my bed head here, but I put the main pipe on top of my miter saw box, which is right in the middle of my shop. And you can see how this will give me a good angle to both my drill press, the miter saw, and other parts of the shop. From here, I'll also be able to get shots of the table saw or planer or anything else I'm doing out in the center. I do most of my work to the left of the miter saw, and so I put another pipe there to give me even more versatility. And the biggest advantage of this location is to be able to get top-down shots, as well as close-ups. So much easier than screwing a piece of wood to the drill caddy every time. One last addition is this gooseneck iPhone holder. I'm not ready to upgrade my camera yet, and this was $10 on Amazon. And this should give me even more flexibility when trying to get certain camera angles. I gotta hand it to you, Ben, this is an awesome design. Thank you so much.